How's everybody doing? Ooh-ah. The secret of making progress is to get started. Mark Twain. I think he's a writer or something. This quote really resonated with me in my particular internship journey because I kind of had a dilemma over the past summer, that being in the form of a 35-day mandatory military training in Fort Knox, Kentucky, which kind of put me in a tough spot in my search for an internship. Think of it as a sandwich, the middle of the sandwich being the meat of the summer, which it was right in the middle of early June to late July, so that left only about a month on either end of the bread for me to find an internship, which didn't happen for me. So, I had to get started. So I came back the next semester and talked to friends, colleagues, just looking for work, whatever potentially they might have. Professor Krause was a big help in that with his certain connections through people here on campus, and which ultimately led me to my internship, which is institutional advancement here at Waynesburg. The primary focus of institutional advancement is really just progressing and moving forward the college. Anything from fundraising, advertising, getting recruits here, and just pushing out that mission statement, the 3 pillars we all know and love, faith, learning, service, and just moving it forward as a whole. I work directly with Stacy Brodak and Ashley Wise. Stacy is the vice president of institutional advancement. I didn't work as directly with her because she's very busy. She's often not times in the office. But when we did meet, she was very good at forming that framework of what we were trying to do with our projects and kind of paving the way there, telling me what my deliverables should be and me telling her what I can offer her as an intern. I worked more closely with Ashley Wise, who is the director of university relations. We'd meet weekly, bi-weekly, and we kind of go over the progress of the projects, and she gave me certain feedback on what we're trying to do. The agenda today, we're going to go over the overarching goals and objectives of institutional advancement, my specific duties and responsibilities, my awesome team some of which I've recently met and others that I've been working with for years here. A lot of challenges. We'll get into that later. Some of you already know, but what I've learned or taken away from the internship, both academically and as an intern, and then we'll wrap it up with some questions at the end. So, the goals and objectives of institutional advancement. We set out to create virtual tours of Waynesburg. That is using a 360 camera. We originally had the idea of doing 4 buildings. That'd be the criminal justice building, residence halls here, the Department of Communication, and Stover. We're actually currently working on Stover as well. Student recruitment. That's our main focus and agenda for this, was getting students in, high school students. That's our primary target audience. And really looking through the lens of what it is to be a high school student. I know it's kind of scary for some of us to jump in the mind of a 16 or 17-year-old. But it's really understanding who your audience is, and we were tailoring our content to that. What we have to offer as a college, as a university, and certain things that we could highlight through that and through our video content. Also highlighting high impact practices. That's like the real world applicable value that we could give through not only here, but CJ. I know driving up the street a couple weeks ago, they had the simulation of a traffic stop. You see the sirens going off. Kyle knows about that. But just showing what type of value we have, that, like real world applicable, not just sitting in a classroom going over slideshows and PowerPoints. And then lastly, training on the tone and message. So remaining mission compliant, sticking with those 3 pillars, also being fun and engaging with our content, but using the right verbiage. My specific duties and responsibilities. So I was a project manager for these virtual tours. I was responsible for developing a team with those certain skill sets, creating student perspective social media content. This is another thing we're currently working on as I finish my internship. That's pretty much like on the street style interviews, walking up to people, asking questions like, why did you choose Waynesburg? Why is this the place for you? Also fun questions like, what's your favorite spot on campus? Lastly, creating tour content for the buildings. I talked about the virtual tours inside, but they also want to do things along the lines of historical background of the buildings, like when they erected. This is another thing we're working to do the last couple weeks, because I know Stacy and her team really wanted to showcase the buildings outside when the weather's nicer, the flowers are blooming and all that good stuff. And my team. Anybody that see their name up there, raise their hand. There's Frank, Bailey, Jay, Joey. I can't thank these guys enough for how much time and effort they put in to help me with this project. And that's one of the things I love about this department is everybody's got each other's back. We're all busy, we have those schedules, I know it, but to have those people in your corner helping you out, and that's something I did take away from this internship is building those professional relationships and having those connections. So could I get a quick round of applause for the people that helped me? Challenges. I need 1 second here. Okay. Recruiting. Not necessarily along the lines of people that were up to doing the project, because like I said, everybody here is willing to help. But it was finding people with certain skills and where those skills fall. I know Frank's great at videography. Bailey's a home run hitter in PR writing, so I know them very well. I've known them over the past couple of years, but finding a lot of underclassmen to get involved was a challenge for me. Time management, cross-referencing all those schedules of, certain rooms we're shooting, when those are open from class periods to get in there and do stuff. Referencing that with the tour guides and their personal schedules as well as mine. It was pretty difficult, but we did find time and we did get it in and we got it done. Learning the tech. That was a big help from Jay back there. He's our tech guy here. He knows all the ins and outs. He was showing me the buttons. He was using a lot of words that I don't know. And I was scrolling through that thing, hoping I didn't catch it on fire. But thanks to him and his help, we got it figured out. We were able to record. And the infamous corrupt SD card story. So you might ask, what's better than recording an entire video project of the Department of Communication? That would be recording the entire project and losing all the footage, which is exactly what happened. We had a corrupted SD card, and it was gone. I tried to, get some positive reinforcement from my colleagues. Ben Champ back there, right there. I was like, is there anything we could do? Can we fix this? Is there software? We got to troubleshoot here. And he's like, you might be screwed, man. What? That's part of the challenges is realizing your mistakes and overcoming them. And thankfully, my team got together all in one day, 7:30 in the morning, some of them, which not everybody was happy about. I won't say any names. But we re-recorded and we got it done, and we have some footage for Stacy and her team over there.
Welcome.
What I learned. We'll get back to that. So what I learned, how to edit and record 360 video. It was really figuring out how to navigate and taking certain things into consideration. Like if you're putting a tripod in the middle of a room, you're going to want to have to be clean and look presentable. Make sure nothing distracting in the background, and kind of positioning it in a way to showcase certain aspects of each room. So I know Frank did the radio station, and we put it right in front of the board and all the switchers. Make sure to give recruits a good view of what they could possibly be working with when they come here. Delegating and identifying team strengths, like I said, with the PR side, the videography, finding a really solid team where everybody can apply their different skills and assets. And identifying a target audience. Understanding that the current high school students are a lot different than when we were in high school. Time's always changing, it's always expanding. They just have a different perspective we do. So it's really understanding the mind's 16, 17-year-old scope, what they're looking for when they're going to college. Thank you. I will now answer any questions you may have. Frank.
So, just speaking of future reference, how would you deal with, let's say, roughly a 6 foot, 300-pound man coming up, mad that he got woken up at 7:30 to record something? How would you deal with it?
Well, I thought I did.
Thankful of all of that.
Oh, I gave you a round of applause. I brought donuts. I thought that was enough to kind of.
There was donuts.
There was donuts.
I didn't get it.
I offered you a donut. Not you. It wasn't Frank.
Do you know how to properly eject an SD card now?
Yes, I do. I made sure to properly eject it this time.
For a legit question.
Okay.
What do you foresee in your future? What do you see yourself doing?
I'd really love to get into like the production side of advertising. So like commercial productions, I think the creative script writing and something along those lines, I think that'd be really cool to do. Gavin.
When you asked me if I knew how to fix a corrupt SD card, did you truly believe I have any good input?
Yeah. Lexi.
Forgive me if I didn't pick up on this, but what was the timeline of your internship? Since you said that this summer it was complicated for you.
So I started it this semester. This semester. I previously thought that I'd be able to use that military experience as an internship, but it was better to have it, tailored with my industry and my major. Meg.
How did you bounce back from all that footage being deleted? Did you go and re-record it, or how did you fix that problem?
So I sent out an email to my team and kind of explained what happened. And we pretty much shot it all in one day's time. So we all put aside our schedules and we got it done. I did sulk in it for a little bit though.
What's your favorite part about kind of being a leader of that group? Maybe a favorite moment or memory as well?
I guess just really seeing what kind of talent we have here and bringing all our varying echelons together, seeing what other people could do. Because, I know Frank and Bailey, but Olivia, Deanna, a lot of you underclassmen have a lot to offer this department, and I think it's going to be really good carrying the torch forward. And next up is electronic media major, senior Frank Cortazzo with his internship at Visit Green.